Welcome to the Evening Review. My name is Juane, and joining me in studio is philosopher Thomas Rupusa. Am I pronouncing it correctly?
Yeah, Rupusa, yes.
Rupusa. Welcome to the Evening Review.
Thank you so much. I'm very happy to be here.
Philosopher, you are a philosopher and also a political science major.
Yes.
And I understand that you are the first to graduate with these.
Yeah, that joint degree, yeah.
With that joint degree.
Yes.
How did it come about that you were able to achieve this feat?
I don't know, it was funny because when I came to university, I wanted to do computer science because I'm actually good at like computer. Technically, I'm good at like computer things. But then when I went there, I didn't qualify because I had a D in math. But then I went to Bachelor's of Arts. I have to select a module, but the only module that I was interested in was philosophy, then political studies. So I just selected it. So yes.
And these two study fields, where do they meet? How do they complement one another? And just please also just outline the key differences.
The key difference. Okay, but the key difference is politics and philosophy. So politics, worldwide is like a delusional thing because people gave up already in politics. They say like, no, politics, they do this and this, they do bad, what. But then philosophy comes in as a savior to come give like moral point of view, ethics in the minds of all politicians. So as you see me now, I have those two junctures of reasoning. Like in my reasoning, I have those two junctures. So that's how I ended up like that.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
And how has this benefited you? Graduating with these two distinct degrees at the same time.
It helped me emotionally. Like emotionally, I'm fit, and it helped me also make right decisions, like in business. I'm not going to disclose anything, but I develop like theories because when you go to school, if you're doing economics or law or mathematics or what, obviously you develop some subconscious strings of, I don't know, maybe analogies or theories in your head, but you don't know it, but it happens in your reality. So those are the skills that I develop now. And I don't know the question.
But day-to-day life, how are you able to use, on the one hand, your philosophy training?
My philosophy training, no, it's an everyday thing, it's a everyday mood, and because I'm into farming, so I believe as a politician or a philosopher, you must be able to be farming. Like I farm crops, and in every day because there are challenges that I experience, either personal challenges with my people or with my family, but now I have to handle that in a way that I have to achieve what is in front of me. I have to absorb that and think ethically for me to make right decisions, for me not to divert in my thoughts and everything. I think that's how it helped me so much in my life.
You're a philosopher and also a political scientist. Were you able to find employment using, as a consequence of these two different fields of study?
No. I applied for jobs, but I never got like an interview or something because I think the people that write the framework of HR and the people that administer the HR administration, I think maybe I think maybe they don't articulate really on how to try to make pragmatic jobs and theoretical jobs, and I don't think they regard theoretical jobs as important. But I think now in that way, I think they didn't really study because since like Namibia got independence, in this secular gazette, you never see like they are looking for a philosopher or something. Never like that. But you get these same companies and same people and same companies saying, no, our philosophy is like this, no, our philosophy is like this, no, my philosophy is like that. But then you don't get to employ them in their entities because they are theoretical people, like they don't have any meaning. But actually, your company was made of a philosophy. It's a framework, it's a philosophy that's why you get those disclaimers about vision, mission. But then I don't know why. I don't know if it's the HR or maybe the technocrats in Namibia, or so I'm not sure on that. But that one, I don't know. It's also another part. But I'm focusing to making business, like starting businesses from scratch to make them work. Actually, in agriculture specific, and so that one, if it comes maybe by accident, is also fine.
Tell me, Namibia as a country, we are 33 years into independence. How can we benefit from the knowledge of that our homegrown philosophers have? Are we using them?
No, because I understand things differently. But right now, as I say, we are benefiting already much. But we are not really, like our technocrats don't really understand the periodic table. Let me make it that way if I have to get critical.
Yeah, you're free to get critical.
Yeah, because when you go to school, you're only taught like a periodic table. I don't know now, if you go to varsity, those guys that are doing physics or PhD in physics, but that doesn't matter. But I think you must try to look at the periodic table first, emotionally and physically. Then you understand what is really going on. We are failing to make, I don't know, the engineers, I think they've been graduating since maybe 1950 or what, but they don't really get to turn a nut. Like to really turn a nut. Like what I mean to turn a nut, like to really make a machine that makes like wheat to macaroni pasta straight. Not to buy like, no, we are importing something, or maybe, but you must import some parts, but you must really make it. So I don't really understand that. I think if you understand that, then you'll be able to, if you understand the periodic table, then maybe, I don't know if it's the higher education or I don't know if it's the technocrats, but I think they must try to dwell more than on the periodic table, because then they'll realize how do you really make that machine. Yes, I think that is one thing I have to say like that.
On the political side, how would you describe Namibia's current political climate?
No, it's cool because, but now our politicians now, it's because it's party politics, most. But for me, I think that is spiritual. I don't want to dwell into that into party politics, but I'm into business politics.
Okay.
Yeah, because I will tell you, because I will start like this, because people say there's capitalism and socialism, and I say there's nothing like that. That is just a description or something, because capitalism and socialism is bad and good. As an individual, you have capitalist and socialist both on you. Like as the blood is pumping, as you're surviving, you have those traits already. It depends on where you're dwelling more. If you can build on your capitalist side or your socialist side. Same as China, Namibia, or America. People say no, America is capitalist. America is not capitalist. They're also socialist. The way they interact individually, the people that are there, they really, that's how I take capitalism and socialism. So when it comes to Namibia, I think we just really need to invest more in the community and to invest more in the periodic table.
Okay, invest more in the community. From a political standpoint, we have social safety nets, the pension, you have grants, disability grants. There's a form of taking care of pregnant women when they are working through the Social Security Commission and so forth. On the side of business politics now, is that enough?
This is not, it's a lot, because on the side of business politics, there's emotion that's involved. Because what I mean by business politics is now, okay, if I have to bring it now to a unit level, it's between me and my my employee or worker or my business partner or my investor. So the politics that you portray, or the language that you use, the tone, how you present yourself, and the not only the qualitative part of your presentation, but your quantitative part. What I mean by that now, it's us Namibians, we don't really have concrete, like small business people that are trying to do business, or people that are doing business. We don't really have a framework that we can adhere to. That's why Namibian the business of Namibia is failing in the youth, or maybe overall, so to say, because the business that is being done now is buy and sell business. What I mean by buy and sell is not order with me only. Is you buying alcohol and go sell, or is you buying things and you sell to make profit. We don't really have that business of like of creating things because you have to influence, because the moment you influence your knowledge or something, then it becomes politics already. So we don't really influence maybe the investors or the international community or the scholars to like now invest in our businesses, but that one is very critical because it's very critical because everything is, for me, everything is good in the business sector. Everything is there, opportunities are there, but the problem is we don't, as Namibians, as individuals, we don't really have frameworks that guides us. Because when you have a framework, no matter how you fail, as you start your thing, you still go back to the framework and look back and still correct it, and then you move it. But if your framework is flaws, then in the long run, even if you try to do something by tomorrow, you can quit, or you do something now, then you quit, or you don't get it. But when you build a framework, it means you've built a fundamental for yourself to solve problems. I think it comes back to the individual people in Namibia for the business part, politics part. But party politics, I don't have a comment on that one.
No, fine, that's fine. I want to go for a short commercial break.
Okay.
Please do stay tuned. We'll be back shortly.
We are so excited to be kickstarting your morning with the entertainment.
Everything was happening during this past weekend.
Yes.
Exciting news.
Wow, no, she was killing it already.
In my opinion, I don't see anything wrong with him serving the full term.
As well as keeping you informed on the issues that you need to know happening in and around our country.
Good evening and welcome to Sunset News.
Dutchman stays in list A in his speech, rate and taxes, and how much.
After the break, we take a look at the sports.
We bring you
economic indicators, tomorrow's weather and sports. I am Aina Raiza Koyam.
Welcome back to the interview, to the evening review. My apologies. Thomas, tell me, Namibia, do you think we are an ethical nation?
Yeah, we are an ethical nation morally, but we are not ethical in developmental ethics. And in environmental ethics, we are not ethical at all.
Can you elaborate?
Yeah, what I mean by development ethics is, because when you develop, there must be neutrality, like there must be justice served. Like if you're having a lot of money, you must be able to think ethically, to be able to invest back. You must not invest randomly, like, no, this one asks you, no, give me $50, no, give me. But if I have, like, let me say for instance, like in my town in Rundu, if I go to a rich guy now, I tell him like, no, I need maybe 500,000, so I go, do my business. I'm showing my business, the framework, everything is pure, but he might steal my idea, or he might feel jealousy for me and say like, no, I'm not going to give you money. So that is now on development ethics now, because I think on the moral ethics, I think we are good people. I think even the foreigners can confirm to that. I think we are good people. But on the developmental ethics side, I think we are lacking more, because that's why we are failing. So, because I can put it like this, because like in ethics, if I say like you're a graduate of a civil engineer, ethically, it means you're supposed to manufacture something for me to call you a civil engineer. If you didn't manufacture, then ethically it means we are failing. Because if you understand that the theory of development ethics, it talks about like the genius of development. But now we are talking about development, like let me say the green hydrogen itself that they're talking about. It has no ethics in it, because their framework is being controlled by other nations, which now disregards us Namibians, so it becomes unethical for us, but ethical for them. When it becomes unethical for them, it will be hard for them to achieve that goal, because there will be hiccups, people will be protesting, people will be saying this and this, and people will like they will do some nepotism things, like you don't know who's going to get the contract. So those are ethical things. Maybe the person that is going to get the contract, maybe is the friend or what. So through our development, a lot of unethical things happen. So a lot of when unethical things happen, even the people that are on the top, they cannot even sleep, because it's unethical. It's genuine. If you're doing good, if you're doing bad, everything bad will come to you. So that is the whole logic. I think in our development plans, I think we must act more ethical, because that's what's bringing our country down. If you have to trace the qualitative part of the whole scenarios or cases in the world, you think unethical things, and it's not worth it, so to say. Yeah.
Green hydrogen, politically and ethically and philosophically, how does Namibia position itself to benefit from that, since you mentioned it?
First of all, I think every person that must be employed there must be interviewed on the screen, like on the screen, like on the TV, on the news, everyone. So if the HR is there, we have to check them on the screen. Okay, he was interviewed today. We have to put a schedule, we have to put a date, we have to see them, so that we judge them, all of them. We judge them. Because those people, they are going to jeopardize us, or maybe they are going to be the other side, maybe make it happen, but we have to see it. So that transparency, like on television, must be there. Like every person, from the CEO to the HR to the accountant to the finance to the law to the procurement, they must be able for us to check them on the screen to verify. Okay, yes, we give a vote like we are voting was, like that position for CEO for City of Windhoek. You see how it was
the public
going,
process. Yes.
Yeah, like it was a good thing. I think everyone, Green Hydrogen, must give us that thing. Then we have hope. Because if they don't give us that thing, I think no, it's picnic, it's propaganda. Let me tell you, because right now, in every country now, as a second ticks, there are people that are discussing to solve problems. Now, as it picks, a million of them, as a second. They're discussing, some of them are in the studio like we are, some of them they're at bar, some of them they're in the office. But it doesn't go like this, because it's the same sequence most. But all I'm saying for Green Hydrogen, all I'm hoping is every person that will be employed in that segment, from the board to the technical team, I think we must check them on NBC. We must verify them, all of us. I think that would be fair.
We have new oil and gas discoveries.
I think the same scenario also.
Same scenario. And then I know you didn't want to touch on the issue of social politics.
Social politics. No, but social politics is the truth. The truth saves you. The social politics. The truth saves you. If you talk the truth, it will serve you. And in social politics, it's because it comes from the heart, individually first, social politics. But right now, what I see is people are going for the truth.
In what sense?
In what sense? I can say maybe Dr. Itula will win.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think, he's genuine, man.
Mm.
I think he talks something that makes sense. And I think people are in that era now of I'll use, I don't know, I think that concept, decolonialization,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't regard it like that because there was nothing like that. People say, no, we are colonized. No, we also colonized the white people almost. So it was reciprocal. But now it became materially. So they say, when it became materially, they say, no, the colonialism of white people is more real and what, but it's not like that. But what I think Itula will win. Then everyone thinks that. I think that's the social politics that changed. But Swapa might win, Itula might lose, but it's still something changed. The paradigm shifted, like in the consciousness of the people, like through politics. But party politics is all about money, man. So that's why business politics is more above than party politics.
Mm.
And that's why this one I don't really disregard it, but I think it comes after business politics. I think business controls politics, and it depends on what kind of business you're doing. It's like Namibia now, like because we are in green hydrogen, we are in petrol, but we jumped a puzzle. Agriculture was not achieved. But I'm reviving agriculture, but I think it will take time.
Mm. Philosophically,
Yeah.
just to close, philosophically, how are you going to revive or how are you going to uplift agriculture?
I think it's, there is a lot of things, but I think it's the management first, and the people in the parliament. I think every politician, if they are giving a comment or something, I think they must be held accountable. So these things they are saying, no, we are going to invest in agriculture. No, there is. You go to DBN, go to Agribank. I have done all those things, but I came to realize one thing. The only way to change agriculture is to manufacture our own machines. It's to go back to the periodic table. As the lecturers that are teaching at NAST, I think this is their task. The lecturers, the university, the guys, I think we must go back to the periodic table because there's no way we cannot make a machine like sugarcane. Sugarcane most, you plant it most, then you put it in a machine, it makes sugar most. So those guys that are going to school, those guys, or their lecturers, they must be able to turn a nut. They must be able to make, okay, how do you make a machine? No, first you have to make a nut. Okay, you make a nut. Okay, bring this part. Okay, what is missing? How does it move? Okay, it's like this. Okay, no, you put in the thing. Okay, what is one of those things? So I think that is what we are going to do. I think, and maybe change the policy, but they've been saying it all over and over again. So, but that one, I think that these guys that are going to school, if they can be able to make a machine that makes, not to buy it or order it or what, make it from scratch. I think they have the money. The government can give. I think if they can make, that's what that one task, just to make sugarcane into sugar straight. I think that's where I end.
Okay.
Yes.
And that concludes the evening review for today. Time to go back to the periodic table. Good night.